Buckle up, all you flower children and rebel souls. Welcome to your hair-raising podcast dedicated to exploring the iconic musical revolution that is hair. This is Center Stage. Join us as we're about to delve deep into the electrifying energy and social commentary that shook the world in 1967. Hair, otherwise known as the American Tribal Love Rock Musical, is a 1967 rock musical with a book and lyrics by Jerome Ragney and James Rado, with music by Galt MacDermot. Hair tells the story of The Tribe, a group of politically active, long-haired hippies of the age of Aquarius, living a bohemian life in New York City and fighting against conscription into the Vietnam War. Claude, his good friend Berger, their roommate Sheila, and their friends struggle to balance their young lives, loves, and the sexual revolution with their rebellion against the war and their conservative parents and society. Ultimately, Claude must decide whether to resist the draft, as his friends have done, or to serve in Vietnam, compromising his pacifist principles and risking his own life. Now, the work of Hair reflects the creator's observations of the hippie counterculture and sexual revolution of the late 1960s, with several of its songs becoming anthems of the anti-Vietnam War peace movement. Now, it's important to note that the musical's profanity, its depiction of the use of illegal drugs, its treatment of sexuality, its irreverence for the American flag, and, of course, its nude scenes, caused much comment and controversy. Hair broke new ground in musical theater by defining the genre of rock musical, using a racially integrated cast and inviting the audience on stage for a be-in finale, meaning the audience literally joined the cast on stage for the finale. Pretty cool. So James Rado and Jerome Ragney met in 1964 when they performed together in the off-Broadway flop Hang Down Your Head and Die, and began writing Hair together in late 1964. Now, the main characters were autobiographical, with Rado's Claude being a pensive romantic and Ragney's Berger an extrovert. Their close relationship, including its volatility, was reflected in the musical. Now, Rado explained, "We were both great friends. It was a passionate kind of relationship that we directed into creativity, into writing, into creating this piece. We put the drama between us on stage." Now, Rado described the inspiration for Hair as a combination of some characters we met in the streets, people we basically knew in our own imaginations. We knew this group of kids in the East Village who were dropping out and dodging the draft. And there were also lots of articles in the press about how kids were being kicked out of school for growing their hair long. There was much excitement in the streets and the parks in the hippie areas, and we thought if we could transmit this excitement to the stage, it would be wonderful. Many cast members were recruited right off the street. It was very important historically, and if we hadn't written it, there would not be any examples. You could read about it and see film clips, but you'd never actually experience it. Now, fun fact, the title of Hair was actually inspired by a museum stroll in mid-1965 when the two, meaning James and Jerome, saw a painting of a tuft of hair by the pop artist Jim Dine. The painting seen here was titled Hair. Now, James Rado and Jerome Ragney came from different artistic backgrounds. In college, Rado wrote musical reviews and aspired to be a Broadway composer. He went on to study acting with Lee Strasberg. Ragney, on the other hand, was an active member of the Open Theater, one of several groups, mostly off-Broadway, that were developing experimental theater techniques. In 1966, while the two were developing Hair, Ragney performed in the Open Theater's production of Megan Terry's play, Viet Rock, which was a story about young men being deployed to the Vietnam War. Now, in addition to the war theme, Viet Rock employed the improvisational exercises being used in the experimental theater scene and later used in the development of Hair. The creators pitched the show to Broadway producers and received many rejections. Eventually, Joe Papp, who ran for the New York Shakespeare Festival, decided he wanted Hair to open the new public theater, which was still under construction at the time, in New York City's East Village. Now, long story short, the production did not go smoothly. The rehearsal and casting process was confused, the material itself incomprehensible to many of the theater's staff, causing Gerald Freeman, who was the theater's associate artistic director, to withdraw from the production in frustration during the final week of rehearsals. After submitting his resignation and fleeing to Washington, Papp was actually able to reconcile with him, and eventually Friedman came back to the production. Now, fast forwarding to October of 1967, Hair would officially open off-Broadway at the Public Theater for a limited 6-week engagement. Now, although the production had a tepid critical reception, it proved to be very popular with audiences. Now, fun fact number 2, after Chicago businessman Michael Butler was planning to run for the U.S. Senate on anti-war platform, he had seen an ad for Hair in the New York Times that led him to believe the show was about Native Americans. Of course, after seeing the production several times, he joined forces with Joe Papp to reproduce the show at the Cheetah, also known as the Disco Nightclub at 53rd and Broadway, which today ironically houses the Broadway Theater. That production opened in December of 1967, running for 45 performances. Now, between its closing at the Cheetah in 1968 and its Broadway opening 3 months later, Hair underwent a thorough overhaul. The book was shortened and 13 new songs were added, including Let the Sun Shine In, to make the ending more uplifting. Now, before the move to Broadway, the creative team hired director Tom O'Horgan, who had built a reputation directing experimental theater at the La Mama Experimental Theater Club. Tom brought a sensual, savage, and thoroughly musical directing style, disintegrating the verbal structure as well as breaking up and distributing narrative and character among the actors. He used techniques involving role-playing and improvisational games. He basically encouraged freedom and spontaneity in the actors, introducing an organic, expansive style of staging that had never been seen before on Broadway. In April 1968, Hair would officially open on Broadway at the Biltmore Theater, running for 1,750 performances. It was the first Broadway show to have a regular ticket price of $50, with 12 of the seats selling at this price for large corporations. The original Broadway cast, which would also become known as The Tribe, starred creators Rado and Ragni, American singer and actress Melba Moore, American soul and R&B artist Ronnie Dyson, singer-songwriter who is known for writing Donna Summer's Oscar-winning Last Dance, Paul Jabara, and 5-decade Hollywood actress Diane Keaton. Now, during its run on Broadway, Hair has seen many actors grace its production, such as Tony Award winner Ben Vereen, singer-songwriter known for his 1965 hit Eve of Destruction, Barry McGuire, former singer-songwriter whose powerful, wide-ranged voice catapulted him into becoming one of the best-selling musical artists in history, Meat Loaf, the second lead singer of the Crystals, Lala Brooks, the drummer for the band Lovin' Spoonful, Joe Butler, singer-songwriter and lead vocalist for the band Robin and the Hoods, Robin McNamara, singer-songwriter Eddie Lambeau, singer-songwriter known for her 1976 hit Turn the Beat Around, Vicki Sue Robinson, singer-songwriter known for her 1972 hit Don't Say You Don't Remember, Beverly Bremmers, American folk singer and songwriter Bert Summer, American actress known for portraying Frida Berlin in Orange is the New Black, Dale Souls, and singer-songwriter known for playing Rocky in the Rocky Horror Show, as well as both Judas and Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar, Kim Milford. Now, fun fact number 3. In the original Broadway production, the stage was completely open, with no curtain and a fly area and grid exposed to the audience. The proscenium arch was outlined with climb-ready scaffolding, and Wagner's spare set was painted in shades of gray with street graffiti stenciled on the stage. The stage was raked, and a tower of abstract scaffolding upstage at the rear merged a Native American totem pole and a modern sculpture of a crucifix-shaped tree. This scaffolding was decorated with found objects that the cast had gathered from the streets of New York. These included a life-size papier-mâché bus driver, the head of Jesus, and a neon marquee of the Waverly Movie Theater in Greenwich Village. Potts' costumes were based on hippie street clothes, which included mixed parts of military uniforms, bell-bottom jeans with Ukrainian embroidery, tie-dye t-shirts, and a red, white, and blue fringed coat. Now, in September 1968, Hare would transfer to the Shaftesbury Theatre in London, running for 1,999 performances, not only surpassing the Broadway production, but would become Tim Curry's first full-time theatrical acting role. Now, aside from Tim Curry, the London Tribe consisted of singer-songwriter and lead vocalist for the 1970s progressive rock band Curved Air, Sonia Christina, 1983's Just Good Friends actor Paul Nicholas, singer and actress best known for originating the role of Grizabella in Cats, Elaine Page, Singaporean singer-songwriter Paul Korda, actress, singer, and former model Marsha Hunt, Scottish rock and blues musician Alex Harvey, UK-based film, stage, and television actor Oliver Tobias, and British New Zealand actor, writer, and musician known for writing the 1973 hit musical The Rocky Horror Show, Richard O'Brien. Now, Broadway revival of Hare would open in 1977 at the Biltmore Theatre for a run of 43 performances. This cast starred American singer-actress Ellen Foley, the lead singer of the 1975 punk band The Shirts, Annie Golden, American singer-actress best known for creating the role of Laurel Robinson in the original Broadway production of Dreamgirls, Loretta Devine, Tony Award winner, singer, and songwriter Clement Derricks, and American actress-singer Kristen Vigard. In 1979, a musical film adaptation was released by the Tribe Entertainment Group, starring John Savage, Treat Williams, Nell Carter, Cheryl Barnes, and National Lampoon's Beverly D'Angelo. Now, fun fact number 4. By 1970, Hare would go on to play in over 19 countries, raking in over $1 million every 10 days, with royalties being collected for 300 different recordings of the show's songs, making it the most successful score in history, as well as the most performed score ever written for the Broadway stage. Now, in May 1988, a 20th anniversary concert was held at the United Nations General Assembly to benefit children with AIDS. This event was sponsored by First Lady Nancy Reagan, with Barbara Walters giving the night's opening introduction. The ticket prices ranged from $250 all the way up to $5,000, and the proceeds went to the United States Committee for UNICEF and the Creole Society's Fund for Children with AIDS. Now, 1985 production of Hare Mounted in Montreal was reportedly the 70th professional production of the musical. From 1990 to 1991, Pink Lace Productions ran a U.S. national tour of Hare, and by 1994, Rado directed a $1 million 11-city national tour starring Luther Creek. Now, production opened in Australia in 1992 with a short-lived 1993 London revival starring John Barrowman and Paul Hipp, opening at the Old Vic in London. Now, fast forwarding on a hop, skip, and a jump to September of 2007, Joe's Pub and the Public Theater presented a 40th anniversary production of Hare at the Delacorte Theater in Central Park. This concert version starred Hamilton's original Da-da-da-da-da, King George III, Jonathan Groff, Moulin Rouge's original Satine, Karen Olivo, and the former star of Broadway's A Beautiful Noise, Will Swenson. In March of 2009, Broadway's second revival would open at the Al Hirschfeld Theater, starring Tony Award winner Gavin Creel, Will Swenson, Canadian-American actress known for originating the roles of Molly in Ghost the Musical and Elsa in Frozen on Broadway, Casey Levi, Tony Award nominee Megan Lawrence, and singer and actress Sasha Allen. Fun fact number 5. By August of 2009, the revival had recouped its entire $5 million investment, becoming one of the fastest recouping musicals in Broadway history. The West End revival of Hare would open starring nearly all of the Broadway cast, with the exception of Luther Creek playing Wolf. The production received mostly enthusiastic reviews and was described as a vibrant, joyous piece of living theater, celebrating a period when the joy of life was pitted against the forces of intolerance and the death-dealing might of the military-industrial complex. In August of 2014, the 2009 Broadway version returned for a 3-night engagement at the Hollywood Bowl. The production starred Kristen Bell, Hunter Parrish, actor and stand-up comedian Benjamin Walker, original Glee star Amber Riley, American R&B singer and songwriter Mario, the Addams Family's original Fester on Broadway, Kevin Chamberlain, and National Lampoon's original Ellen Griswold, Beverly D'Angelo. In 2017, the musical's 50th anniversary was staged at the Volts Theatre in London, where it won the What's on Stage Award for Best Off West End Production. Gang, this has been a journey through the psychedelic kaleidoscope of Hair. Join us again for another exploration of groundbreaking musicals that shook the stage and the world. Until then, let your freak flag fly and keep spreading the love. This is Center Stage, rocking out.